Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher's Noob. And today I have with me, finding his face, at least on this show, Dead Guy.
Hey guys,
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How you doing, Robert?
Tired. Really tired.
Same.
But
Cheers to
today
that.
we are going to be continuing on with Superman Batman as we go into the next arc. And, oh, hold on. Sorry, just had a sorry about that. But anyway, but yeah, so this one is going to be technically a 4 issue, but obviously a 5th issue with this prelude. Joe Casey, and for the first issue, Scott Collins, and for the other issues, Adrian CF, where Joe Casey, who had been on Superman for a long time.
I'm a Casey fan.
Oh, you are a Casey fan?
Yes, I am. I'm kind of looking forward to this now.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, we'll see in the next issue that this would unfortunately have a very, very, very bad um trade dress on this issue. That's going to give people the wrong idea. But
Story of my
yeah,
life.
but yeah. So Scott Collins, who had already done these Solomon Grundy stuff, does this one issue. All
Okay,
hands,
cool.
we've got invaders in the exosphere. They've hijacked the Grand Majesty Sevenfold and have targeted Argo City. All decks, weaponeers, load up and let loose. Repel and reposit. Very Star Wars like.
That's very Star Wars like. I like that.
And basically we have this whole Kryptonian battleship has been invaded by these aliens. The die is cast, and so we honor your service to Krypton, great Moxor. All offensive batteries, alert, sing out your collective death song. Take down the Grand Majesty sevenfold. We shall survive to crack apart the heavens another day, to the eternal dismay of the deviant scientists. But unfortunately, they're damaged so much that they basically end up heading to the Sol system.
That's our system.
Yep. And but yeah, they're able to get out. They're like, rouse infinite mercy. Send word to the ruling council on secured channels Omega. Transfer our onboard intel for immediate analysis. Captain, should we track target to his destination? An impossibility, Ensign. They activated an experimental engine that even we have not yet been able to master. Early test trials revealed possible chronal effects from traveling at such speed. In short, determining where they arrive is not the primary task, as when. As we then jump to, this takes place after our world's at war.
Okay.
You know about that event, right?
Yeah, bits and pieces, man, like the Cliff Notes. I mean, I've heard the expression everything is phallic, but I mean, for the love of God.
Pretty much the swan song, I believe, to the triangle numbers.
A refresher would be nice.
Well, basically, an alien invasion had occurred. You had Imperiax, which was basically DC's Galactus.
Okay.
Shows up, attacks and invades, and then ends up being Brainiac at the end, who ends up being the final villain.
Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of heroes die, including Hippolyta, Diana's mother, among others.
Good riddance.
Hey!
I didn't mean that. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Alfred, I've reached the target. In the time it takes for this message to reach you, I'll have already gone exterior for further investigation. This may be nothing but a random derelict. Regardless, these things don't just appear out of nowhere. Continue relaying any relevant data from the cave to my onboard boards here, and I'll be in touch. End transmission. Initiate transmission. Begin recording. I'm inside the engine room, but I don't recognize the technology. So far, the ship seems deserted. But I'm not ruling out some kind of security. Oh crap! Kryptonian battle droids!
Oh.
And the fact it's the old post-crisis designs.
Yeah, dude, these are really cool. This is really good art.
Yep. Jim! Sorry I'm late. No problem. You make a great diversion. Automated drones. That makes this easier. 2, 1. There's got to be a more efficient way to deal with these things. Uses a Kryptonian dialect to override it as they're looking through all this. Now that we've established that we've got an expert opinion to rely on, does any of this look familiar? I'm no expert, merely a student of history. This bridge is just like the rest of the ship. Looks like it's been through hell. And if these bodies represent the pilot crew, their uniforms are lead line, but something else about them. I suspect that. No need to be polite. It's obvious. This may be a Kryptonian ship, but this is no Kryptonian. Let's get to work. I'm not thrilled to be away from gossip for this long. Depending on the state of this equipment, I might be able to hack into. Hold it. Oh. Oh!
Oh man. Uh,
No. I could have told you that you might have found somebody that hit a little too close to home. Nevertheless, I need your head in the game. I'm here. It was just to see so many of them all at once. I know. A crippled ship, a bridge full of alien intruders, a hold full of murder Kryptonians. Any ideas? A few. Seems like I've been able to bypass whatever encryption existed within this system. So unless I'm mistaken, which I doubt I am, I've succeeded in recovering the ship's log and translate. Seems a little more primitive than the Kryptonium I'm used to. Just give me a moment. Okay, there's a day stamp that I can't decipher, which would suggest an era on Krypton long before my father's. Lots of fleet specs here, military data, strategic planning, a few references to an engine system still in beta testing, some automated flight deck recordings too. Alerts, list through it all. Basically, yeah, they've been attacked. All of the Kryptonians were wiped out, but the ship was so damaged that they perished. But there was an escape pod that was launched.
hmm. Looks
All right.
like droids.
The ship's logs don't contain any reference to any escape launch that I could see. This happened after the ship arrived here. I'll be honest, Bruce. I've seen more than my fair share of artifacts from my home planet, but this is different. These people are a part of me. They live on within me, and having even a modest sense of what they went through, seeing their fate, and my inability to do anything about it except bear witness to the aftermath, time and time again, that's been my primary relationship with my own heritage. I've never felt more like an orphan than I do right now. I wouldn't know anything about that, but this isn't over yet. I know. This is really your area, isn't it? Still too many unanswered questions. More than I'm generally comfortable with. A timeless spaceship full of your fallen ancestors. A forgotten war that we never understand. A Jesuit escape pod with no real sense of who was in it. And the more pressing question, where did it escape to? So that's the first issue,
I'm interested.
which leads into this. And this is what I mean by the trade dress throws it off.
Oh, I see.
Cute, but this thing has absolutely almost nothing to do with our worlds at war besides a few references.
Yeah. I mean, it's great looking, but
Yep. And meanwhile, in Nepal, we see someone is up there looking at the summit. I'm already at the summit. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to see this view. Finds the alien craft. No. Mr. Gaines, are you there? Sir? 6 months later.
cool.
And Batman, you're too late. Don't you get it? I'm the one who's got the greatest gimmick. I can bring myself back from the abyss. Can you? This is the third time you've had to come after me, but you've got nothing. I'll do it again and again and again. To the great beyond and back. Not everyone makes the return trip. And don't hold back, Death Man. You've got 3 million in gold and 2 dead security guards to answer for. I already said, you ain't got a damn thing on me. Not a damn. Right. Just another day at the office. Maybe you need a vacation. The skylight was open. So, Deathman, a petty thief who apparently dies anytime he gets caught once while he was in court. Turns out it's a type of meditation that slows the heart. Even a cardiologist can be fooled. What can I do for you? I was just checking in. Our discovery in the asteroid belt. You and I both know that this is something that needs to be dealt with. Fine, let's talk, but not here. And so yeah, basically we get a summary of what had happened. Batman, wait. Nice talking to you. As then we're seeing Clark and Jimmy are heading over to meet up with one of the people in charge of Star Labs. And then he meets the guy who's one of the main backers and financiers of Star Labs, who's usually known for being a recluse. Look familiar?
A little bit.
The guy from the beginning.
Yep. I was gonna say when he the guy that found whatever the hell
Yep,
that
the
was.
ship. This is Anderson Gaines, finally back from his extensive travels in the Far East. Garrison, you know I don't often concern myself with the day-to-day operations here, but I'm assuming this is cleared with our publicity department. Blah blah blah, talking, weird stuff like, and shakes hands and all that, and obviously a man of few words. Everything okay? Yes, it's fine. You two have more to discuss? Oh well, I guess it's been a few hours. I don't want to take up any more of your time, Clark. Right, I guess that's my cue. But of course, once he leaves, it's like, you've never shown your face to the press before. You try to make it company policy. To which then he's acting like things have changed.
Okay.
Of course, he's already suspecting something about Clark, as you can tell from here.
Mm-hmm.
FYI, you are aware of Agent Sayap. He's that one guy who's notorious for putting in his own religious views into, slipping stuff into his artwork, stuff that was very anti-Semitic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not very nice.
Yep.
I
But
think
yeah,
I
so
think I got I think I got something figured out. So I'm gonna wait and see how it pans out.
yeah, but anyway, Batman is checking through the DNA and is able to determine he's a shapeshifter,
Yep.
the alien. So meanwhile, we're seeing Superman's at the Daily Planet when it's attacked by a guy named NRGX, nuclear radiation generator experimental. I'd say that's pretty self-explanatory. Need another demonstration? That felt good. Listen, let's not drag this out. I'm just here to eliminate some reporter. The money was fair. Someone requested the scorched earth treatment, the kind I specialize in. Quite the stylish hit, in my opinion. Who knows why this reporter's a target? Maybe someone's just not a fan of the press. Personally, I really don't care. This is strictly professional. Uh-oh. What have we here? How'd this survive? Interesting. Not your typical plastic picture frame. Some kind of heat-resistant alloy. Not that it matters. Now that I just got to get a confirmed kill here. Don't count on it. I got everyone out. Now it's just you and me.
Yeah.
This is not really like your traditional what we've been getting from Superman and Batman, does it?
No, it sure don't. And honestly,
I'm not saying, look. I'm not saying
I
it's a
kind of
bad
like it.
thing. Oh, I know, but it does feel more like a Superman story first, with Batman guest starring, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does.
And then we see Alfred driving. Driving. I'm like, well, certainly, obviously just doing the usual chit chat. Then we see 12 hours ago when we see the mysterious figure approaching Energy X to attack and assassinate Clark Kent. Normally, I might try to talk this over like adults, but I'm not in the mood. Not now. You're obviously a lackey, a glorified hitman. I'll ask you this once. Who are you working for? I've been well paid, Boy Scout. That's all you need to know. Now you may not be my target, but sometimes you just gotta improvise. Nice try. New question. Who are you here to kill? After he gets about Clark Kent. Champion of the oppressed, huh? Someday you'll figure out how the world really works. Not today, and not from you. Don't make me ask again. Think about it scientifically, Man of Steel. You know at temperatures that are high enough, steel melts. Boom! He did not self-destruct. He still got away.
I like this guy.
Yep. Meanwhile, we see Bruce is meanwhile at a Gotham charity event and he meets Anderson Gaines. Anderson Gaines, the infamous Star Labs backer, the man who funded Garrison's dream. Apparently so. So, your rep precedes you, to say the least. I'm surprised to see you actually mingling with the rest of us humans. Yes, well, the reports of my general reticence have over the years been exaggerated. I'm almost disappointed it was one of the things, and disappointed. It was one of the things I admired most about you. I mean, I'm sure it didn't match yours, Mr. Wayne, but let's not overemphasize my actions. I'm simply a citizen of Earth, just like the rest of us. If we don't participate when and where we can, what kind of society are we? I look around and I see it. One world, one love. Right. Lucius, let's talk. I can see why he was such a recluse. Is it just me? He's been traveling the world, and I guess I don't know, he's got some new perspective on things. In any case, I was thinking this might be an opportunity for some pollination between Wayne Tech and Star Labs. Not a bad idea. Some
Mm-mm.
view. Oh, Wayne. I've seen the whole world ravaged by this war that took place since my trip abroad. This is the only reference we get to our worlds at war. Apparently, we're not alone in the universe. Par for the course when our meta-human population is so annoyingly large. Indeed, this world is truly a melting pot, isn't it? All creatures, great and small, but I rarely make judgments. Did you think to perceive the war in microcosm, or am I reading too much into things? To be honest, I really didn't see the war at all. I tend to operate more on a local level. Fair enough, even admirable. There's nothing more significant than one's human turf and the benefit one cultivates there. Mr. Anderson, sir, we really need to get going. Your schedule, we've got the helicopter waiting. Of course, so he then leaves. Of course, Wayne, your Mr. Fox mentioned possible business dealings between our companies. I wish we could talk more, but as you can see, no problem. I was just heading out myself. We'll get a meeting on the books. I'd certainly be interested in exploring the possibilities. But when they shook hands, he got his fingerprints and slight
Mm-hmm.
DNA.
He's good.
Yep. Just and so yeah. So meanwhile, we're seeing Superman. Yeah, is explaining what happened with energy, but when he checks it over, it's a match. And not only that, though, you want to know what alien species it is? It's a Durlin
Wait a minute.
from Legion of Superheroes.
Okay, yeah.
Remember, the Durlin still existed even in the present day,
Okay. But yeah,
but obviously very different. And he's an ancient Durlin.
yeah, he's out of time. That's what that is. That's cool.
Yep. But even then, though, he's just so grabbing. Basically, he's a soldier of war. I pray to the dying light of my own galaxy, the far-flung ideals I will not let fade anymore. To the ancient war gods of Durla and the twin setting suns, I bid farewell to so long ago. I pledge my life. For my fallen brethren, I continue the fight. Like, yeah, and so it begins again. Across the endless seas of time itself, our war can still be waged. We can still emerge victorious. He is the last of his race. Perhaps I am too. And perhaps destiny has brought us together to end this ancient conflict once and for all. The reasons are a distant memory. They do not matter now. I still have my mandate, and for all that we believe, I will finish it. That which and my brethren began so long ago, our singular goal to extinguish the Kryptonian race and all it stands for, even at the cost of our own lives. Now I have found myself stranded alone on this world. I rely on the tenets of my counterintelligence training to assimilate and observe, but I have my mission. I
Hmm.
pray to the dying light. I'm skipping the Superman Batman stuff because just I'm figuring it all out. I pray to the dying light of my own galaxy, the far-flung ideals I will not let fade away. To the ancient war gods of Durla and wait. Oh, whoa, that page got skipped in.
I was a
Whoops.
little confused, but
It
it's
was a
okay.
DC Universe flaw, and whoa.
Okay, he's the thing. Cool.
Anderson gains at the shapeshifter. A Durlin, not an exact match with the data we've got in that race, but I've checked that. I've chalked that up to evolution. And so they explain it up, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, but they also know they can't just go flying in, given how he's taking on Anderson's form. They can't just go swinging in.
Right.
But at the same time, he's realizing also, but if he really wants to restart an ancient war fought instead of a millennium ago, I'll be more than happy to finish it.
You see that smirk on Batman's face?
Mm-hmm.
It's never good
Or
when
then
he's smiling.
we're introduced to a villain known as the Hooded Hangman. All the while, and Batman's still figuring out what to do about was Anderson and everything. It was Gaines, I mean, and Superman had another run-in with NRG. This is the moment where I break you, Batman. But of course, he's taken down. We just get a summary of everything. See what I mean? This feels more like a normal Superman issue where they would have done these catch-ups. Because if you notice, Superman Batman did not do that often.
You were kind of in the time, so yeah.
So that is a little bit of an annoyance when you say doing these summaries.
Honestly, man, I kind of like it. I
Oh,
kind of
you
like
do?
this. Yeah, I'm digging this the way it's written, and the
Okay,
art
okay.
is just kind of blending.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And I mean, again, it's not a bad arc. I should also give you a heads up. Casey does not finish this arc. Joshua Williamson does in one of his earlier works at DC.
Oh, you can't hand off the end.
Unfortunately, I think, from what I understand, Casey was still having some drug issues.
Oh, fair enough.
From what I recall, I could be wrong. It's been so long. I tried looking up the interview. I couldn't find the interview anywhere.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, so we're having Gaines is trying to get himself back over to that station. Meanwhile, and Batman, of course, takes down the Hangman like nothing. And so Batman's going to be heading out while Superman's going to deal off with Energy X. So the Kryptonian has a stronghold, a place where its accursed heritage can find full expression. Through what channels was that data acquired? Never mind, it doesn't matter. Open a secure comm stream. I know you can hear me. Are you ready for a second chance? So he sends him out to deal with him again. Hold on. You've given this suit quite the workout lately. The right tool for the right job, Alfred. This is an extreme gamble, and I'm still not 100% convinced. This is not a would-be world conqueror here. This is a creature with a specific agenda. You'd rather stage another showdown in a populated area? Think about it. I'm certainly not going to dispute your particular expertise on one-man vendettas, but this isn't my war. Accept reality. It's your war now. Then what's your stake in all of this? Batman, answer me. I shook his hand. He was standing right in front of me, and I shook his hand. He is his own worst critic, apparently. I just hope he's right about this one. Oh, and so energy is there
Yeah, I
to
saw
attack
that.
yep. Tesseract technology. So 20th century. Huh? Tough to find good help these days. Case in point. Oh, it's a Superman android.
Cool.
So Gaines is heading over there to the old stage, the old ship. Superman makes his way back, and yeah, that's the old, the mid 2000s fortress where it was a Tesseract.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm what is
Welcome.
before we continue, the question is that android that actually looked like Superman? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they've had
Uh,
Superman androids once in a
was
while.
that the same one he was referencing that stood in for him when he had to be at two places at the same time? I'm curious.
I think that was a reference to it, but yeah, and I recall when I went over with Raymond a while back, the Superman Batman versus Aliens and Predators, a lot of the stuff was
What?
referenced in that.
Okay.
Yeah, you should check out our video.
I'm digging that up.
It's not a Pro Teacher's Noob. It was just a regular review.
Okay. Still digging it up.
Welcome home, dear. Got your dinner all warmed up for you. Bon appetit! You're trespassing. I don't need any information this time. I know who you're working for. You can save yourself a world of trouble if you simply surrender. Surrender? I gotta tell you, Big Blue, I don't know the meaning of the word. That's too bad. If this is going to descend into cliche, we might as well get it over with. Fine with me. Let's take it to the next level. Oh, this is beautiful. Eat your heart out, Ray. Whereas Batman makes his way over there, and sure enough, Gaines is starting to access the ship again, hoping to get it started and to bring the ship back to Earth.
Wow.
And here's the last issue already. See what I mean? How fast this was going to be?
They're really short, yeah.
5 issues, but let's be honest, this was a breeze to get through summarizing.
Yeah, and honestly though, this could have been just one, I don't know, an annual or something. Like you just nailed it in one good story instead of breaking it up like that.
Yep. Now also Jason Fabok takes over on artwork as well. CF had to go on and do something else. Think carefully about your next move, Anderson. And it shows already. I love Fabok, but this doesn't add up to match up to what CF was doing.
Uh, okay.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or what Collins had set up. All right. And so another one enters the fray. You wear your totem as a shield meant to distract and deceive. Typical of a world full of masquerade. Then I guess you fit right in. I knew it was only a matter of time before you make it back here. You're not the only one schooled in counterintelligence tactics, but it's over. Your world and its inhabitants, so painfully obvious in your behavior. But the organizing principles of any society is for war, and it is my destiny to finally end this one in victory! Quite a fortress you've got here. Lots of space. But you don't mind that I've done a bit of redecorating, do you? Energy X, there are things I keep in this place that mean everything to me, and you're not one of them. Bring it! Oh, I am. Feels good, doesn't it? To cut loose when your goal is complete annihilation? We could take this entire Tesseract space with us. I'm afraid it's not going to get that far. I finally got a good look at you with my X-ray vision. I know exactly which part of you are cybernetics. All of it! Nice
Oh.
try, hero. And nice try, hero. But I can download my sparkling personality into another body located on a top secret location. Of course, starting over with a clean CPU has its own risk. I might not even remember the details of my contract. I've traveled time itself. Make war. There is no surrender. We fight until death. What began as a war between planets has finally come down to two warriors. Now the Kryptonian will feel the wrath of my entire species. I'll bring this ship, his own cultural artifact, down upon his head. As a warrior, you should know, never turn your back on your opponent. Oh, 3, 2, 1. It's much too late. My plans will not be thwarted by any action on your part. Nothing left to chance. In war, all moves are definitive moves. I am prepared to die. Are you? I have zero respect for kamikaze tactics. Control might be locked now, except you're not the only one who studied Kryptonian technology. Superman, are you reading me? Batman, I've got you. Bad news. The Kryptonian ship is on a collision course with Earth. And no, it's aimed to come right down on top of Metropolis. The Kryptonian must not be warned. Batman, the ship just as he predicted. Metropolis, you know nothing of the ideals of total commitment, human. Typical of the weakness of your species. There will be death. Anderson! No more and middleman. Energy X is done. It's time you confront me face to face. There you are, the lone representative of a dead planet. After infiltration, assimilation, even passive aggression, only this will truly bring closure. The destruction of Clark Kent City will be revenge enough. Can you handle getting us back into space, Batman? I have an ages-old score to settle. We're going too fast. Seriously doubt the ship is going back into orbit. However, I might be able to control the reins enough that we can come down somewhere secure without crashing into Metropolis. Good. We don't need to continue on this path, Anderson. Enough Durlans and Kryptonians have died on this ship. Then it's appropriate we end here as well. Our ancestors lived on the hatred of each other. I live by their tenets, and so I hate as well. But the fates have made their choices. It is our destiny that we both perish today. And why do you wish the destruction of all Kryptonians? War is the way of both our races. If there was ever again another world of Krypton, there is no doubt in my mind that they'd attack your adopted world. I spent millennia frozen while your kind lived on. By the war gods of Durla, this ship will be our grave. Almost got it. Free them! And they sexually crash into the bay. Uh, no more shapeshifting, Anderson. Do it again, and you'll shatter. You're hurt. Let us take you back to the fortress. It doesn't have to end this way. Kryptonian scum. Of course it ends this way. This is how all wars end. No! A soldier to the end. So utterly senseless. I just don't. And to try to apply your beliefs to your creature to this creature would be pointless. We all are what we are. I don't believe that, Batman. That point of view, it leaves no room for enlightenment. It's clear that my ancestors were more than capable of war. Perhaps they even reveled in it. But we can be better than those who came before us. We can evolve. We can learn from our past mistakes and rebuild ourselves when we have to. We can never forget that. Maybe so, but I can't ignore that hint of naivete I hear in that statement. It's that kind of thinking that leaves us vulnerable to the darkness that lies in the soul of all sentient creatures. I can't live that way. Hey, and one thing to remember about the past, it will always come back to haunt us. There was a chunk of him left that can regrow.
Mhm. I see that. That's great.
So,
That's actually like the dynamics in people.
yep,
Everybody at the end there, you know, everybody's got that Superman side to them, but
yep.
everybody's
So,
also got
so
that
how was
Batman side
that?
to them. I enjoyed it. Short, but sweet.
Yep, but you could feel like that ending probably
It was,
wasn't what.
yeah, it took a
Yep.
nosedive, but I
I
mean,
mean, I don't blame Williamson. He did what he had to, and I think he made an ending that fit with what was set up.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And the art, I gotta admit, he did his best to kind of match.
Payback,
So yeah,
who's become more phenomenal lately to the point where I mistake him for Gary Frank in a good way.
yeah, okay. And
He's the
see,
guy
it
who did
seems
Three
like he's good
Jokers.
at mimicking. You know what I
Yeah, he's
mean?
the
Like,
guy. Yeah, he's the guy who did Three Jokers
oh, see, I wasn't
and
crazy about that story,
Dark
but
Side
that
War.
okay, Dark Side War was cool. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. All right, before
So
we start the
overall,
next,
what
let
would
me grab another coffee.
well
Uh,
before we wrap up, I just want to say though. So, what would you say overall? Like, what did you like best about the story before the ending? I mean,
honestly, let me think. I like how it was kind of set up
hmm
because it was very short. It's like there was so much thrown at you very quickly.
yeah,
But it's almost like you accept it. That's the whole thing. You don't question the
yeah.
scenario, and that's I guess that's what I will say. You were saying it seems more like a Superman story than just a Batman as a sidekick. That's what I kind of liked about it.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, I felt like it was equal, and I really liked the flashbacks. I liked where you're watching the fight go on, but you're
Yeah,
also seeing how the fight got set up in the first place. And I actually really enjoyed this one, man. It was
I
pretty good.
did feel though Anderson was a bit generic.
Ah,
I hate to say he's just a soldier who's holding on to the old ways. We've seen that before.
that was
Uh,
bothering me a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and again, and that was something Casey was setting up too. Clearly, he's a guy who just feel like I'm gonna continue this war even though I'm the last one. It's like,
I mean, I'm even thinking at the end there, as always in comic books, they're having a paragraph long conversations while they're beating the fuck out of each other. That doesn't happen in real life. But
well,
um, I thought, man, this guy has to have adapted and figured out and been in this time long enough to know he's out of time and long enough to know the wars. It's
oh, and
over.
he knows,
It's
but he doesn't
done.
care. He
And the
doesn't care.
last, he's the last of his. Well, he's not the last of his kind, but as far as he knows, he might be.
Yes,
And Superman is the last of his kind. He as a self-preservation wouldn't have fought to the death. He would have been like, okay, it's over. I've got to find a new life. But instead,
he
hunts
felt
down
like I
Superman and decides to kill him. That's crazy to me.
exactly. And Superman is like, but it's like he fought in the wars. Superman never did, and
No.
Superman came from a Krypton that was well past the war too, which that I liked.
Mhm.
That I will say I did like. That this was a guy who fought a Krypton that has long been gone, even
It's
before Jor-El.
from Superman's perspective, I would literally be like, "What is wrong with you, man?
Yeah,
Like, what are
yeah,
you doing?"
but they didn't do that much with it. That's the one downside I give this. They didn't do that much with it. It's like that's why I felt like his words of like don't shapeshift, you'll shatter fell on deaf ears. It's like you didn't even try that hard, Kark. You didn't try that
No.
hard.
No,
I mean, I
and
get
it's
it. He
like
didn't give him much of a choice. The
he
ship
told
was
him a way
coming
to kill
down.
himself too, you know what I mean? He was like, "Hey, if you try to shapeshift, you might actually shatter." And then he's like, "All right, cool. Easy way out. Deuces."
Exactly. But so this deserves a few more issues. I feel like,
Maybe just more
yeah.
stretch
I
out
mean,
the end a little bit,
the
give him a little more
prelude
character
was great.
development.
I think the prelude was the best issue because we
It
just
sucks
said
you in.
yeah, it sucks you in. And just that whole moment of Superman seeing all those dead Kryptonians that he never saw until that moment. It's like so many of his people just dead floating right in front of him. It's like, yeesh. Okay, well,
That's
we
discouraging.
now, well, the next arc we'll be going over leads into the 75th issue as Paul Levitz comes on board with Jerry Ordway on artwork.
Okay, I'm
As
not familiar
we
with him.
deal with him giving us a post-crisis take on the Lexor, planet Lexor concept. Well, so we'll see you all on that one. Take care.